PM Modi on Sunday said not only BJP but international community is also entirely confident about his government's return after Lok Sabha polls. He added a third term for Saffron regime is a prerequisite for the leap India needs to take to become a developed nation by 2047. Addressing BJP National Council meetings valedictory session, Modi cited invitation he has got for many foreign nations for July, August and September, adding, "What does this imply? They also know आएगा तो मोदी ही." Dismissing India bloc as a coalition of 7 families and jabbing Congress over corruption, Home Minister Amit Shah said people have made up their mind and Modi ji will serve another term. He claimed Rahul Gandhi takes blessings of George Punnaya, who insults Bharat Mata. George Soros, who is rabidly anti-Bharat, also supports Congress. Amid speculations of Kamalnath leaving Congress and his stubborn refusal to squash the talk, his confident Sajjan Singh Verma on Sunday said the veteran is focused on how to select election candidates in Madhya Pradesh and that there is no issue of defeating to BJP. Speaking to reporters after meeting Nath, Verma said the leader was sitting in his house with a chart and told him that he was focusing on caste equations in the 29 seats in MP to strengthen Congress in Lok Sabha polls. The share of 4-lane and above highway stretches constructed in the country between April and January of the current financial year has hit the highest ever level, with nearly 43% of the NH stretches built in 23-24 falling under this category. While the share of 4, 6 and 8-lane stretches is marginally higher than a year ago, in terms of construction pace, there has been a 16% rise to 3,000 km. Over the remaining 2 months of the fiscal year, the proportion is likely to be higher than last year, according to officials, beating the earlier trend of more highway constructions achievement coming from strengthening of exciting stretches and widening of NH to only 2 lanes. The focus now is more on building wider highways and expressways. Jaiswal's unbeaten 214 took India to 430 for 4 declared before local led Ravindra Jadeja's 5 for 41 ensured England chasing an improbable 557 collapse to 1-2 all out on day 4 of third test in Rajkot. India lead 5-match series by 2-1. This is England's biggest test defeat by runs in 90 years and their second biggest ever, behind 562 run loss of Aussie in 1934. Jaiswal is first Indian batter and 7th overall to convert his first 3 test runs into 150 plus scores. At 22 years and 49 days, he is third youngest player to score double test 100 behind Vinod Kambli and Don Bradman. Second time Jadeja had hit a tone and taken 5 wickets in an inning in a test match. Jaiswal is third Indian after Kambli and Virat Kohli to hit 200s in 2 successive tests. Jaiswal's 545 runs in 6 innings is a record by an Indian left-hander against any opponent in a test series, battering Sourav Ganguly's 534 in 6 innings versus Pakistan in 7-8. R. Ashwin, who had left the match midway, returned and claimed his 250th wicket of a left-hander in test. Jaiswal hit 12 sixes in his knock, equaling Wasim Akram's record for most sixes in one inning. He has also hit 22 sixes this series, most by a batter in a test series. Sarfaraz Khan is 4th Indian after Dilawar Hussain, Gavaskar and Shreyas Iyer to score twin 50s on debut test. In the first ever tree census, Municipal Corporation of Delhi has identified 1 lakh trees in 12 zones so far. In December 23, Mayor Shelley Oberoi had announced that the corporation would complete the tree census in 15 days. However, the work is still on and only 27% of the wards have been covered thus so far, according to the latest data shared by the civic body. Of the total 250 wards, the census has been completed in just 67. The mayor's office, however, claimed that 70% of tree numbering has been completed in all 12 zones of Delhi. A tree census is conducted to record the number of trees in a colony, their age, their health and condition, and helps residents and authorities understand, prioritize, plan and take corrective action if required. MCD's Horticulture Department, which is carrying out the work in 250 wards, has completed the identification work only in Narela zone, where all the 16 wards have been covered. The second highest number of trees has been identified in Keshavpuram zone. There are 5 zones where 0 wards have been fully covered in South zone this and this. According to the plan, The horticulture department will give a serial number to each tree. In the first phase, the census is being carried out manually. In the second phase, the locations of the tree were identified and tagged using artificial intelligence. The data compiled after the tree census will help in taking policy decision. Key decision relating to future plantations drives will get a boost too. While announcing the census, Oberoi said this will be the first time that tagging of trees will be done by using AI technology, adding that the project would help authorities know the actual number of trees under MCD's jurisdiction. Among the zones who have seen the exercise being carried out on a faster clip is City SP zone, which has a total 12 wards and where the census has been completed in 11. As many as 11,000 trees have been identified here. In Shahadra South, which comprises 26 wards, 18 have been covered and 30,000 trees have been identified. Officials said MCD was making all possible effort to increase the green cover in the city. Under the Green Delhi Action Plan 23-24, as many as 84,000 trees and 2 lakh bushes were planted by horticulture department till November last year. There is also a plan to develop 5 forests based on Miyawaki technology. Delhiites throng Shantipat to soak in a bright Sunday morning and enjoy a glimpse of a variety of tulips that have now fully bloomed and are causing quite a riot of colors in central Delhi. On the flip side, the enthusiasm on the last day of Delhi's Tulip Festival led to slowing down of traffic near Chanakyapuri due to the vehicles parked on roadside. The city recorded hottest day of the season on Sunday as the maximum temperature rose to 29 degrees Celsius, 5 degrees above normal at Safdarjung. However, relief is expected from soaring mercury as Delhi is predicted to receive rain from Monday night to Wednesday. The maximum temperature on Sunday was 3 degrees higher than Saturday's. India Meteorological Department's data shows that the day temperature starts rising from the third week of February. The maximum temperature on Sunday at most stations stayed about 28 degrees Celsius. Though the maximum temperature is forecast to stay around 26 degrees Celsius on Monday, the mercury is predicted to dip to 24 degrees Celsius on Tuesday and may drop to 23 on Wednesday. Rain activity is expected to start from Monday night in Delhi but is likely to intensify on Tuesday as the Met Department has predicted light to moderate showers. Gusty winds at 30 to 40 km per hour are likely to blow in the city on Monday night. There is a possibility of very light rain or drizzle on Wednesday. Two western disturbances, one as a trough in the middle tropospheric westerlies and another as a cyclonic circulation, lies over North Pakistan and neighborhood in lower levels. An induced cyclonic circulation lies over central Pakistan in lower tropospheric levels. Under the influence of this system, light to moderate rain is at many places accompanied with isolated thunderstorm, lightning and gusty winds at isolated places on February 19 and 20 in Haryana, Chandigarh and Delhi, said IMD in its bulletin. Rain is expected to clean Delhi's air too. The city's air quality, which has been staying in poor category for the past few days, is forecast to improve to moderate category on February 20 and 21. The air quality index on Sunday has 269 as against a day earlier. Union Home Minister on Saturday gave its approval to Delhi's budget for 24-25 financial year, paving the way for its tabling in Legislative Assembly, sources said on Sunday. They added that Delhi government would soon be communicated about the approval. Officials in Delhi government, however, said they were yet to receive any information from MHA. While the budget session of Delhi Assembly began on February 15, the AAP government was expected to table the estimates for the next financial year on February 19. The same had to be postponed due to the delay in its preparations. Making a statement on the floor of the Assembly on February 15, the first day of the session, Delhi Finance Minister Atishi said the approval from MHA was likely to take a week and requested Speaker to extend the budget session till the first week of March. We received LG's approval on February 14. Earlier, the budget was passed by the Cabinet on February 11 and on February 13 it was sent to LG for his assent. Today, budget will be sent to the MHA, Atishi said in the House. She had estimated that the budget won't be presented in Legislative Assembly before February 25. Being a union territory with a legislature, Delhi sends its budget to MHA after getting the approval of LG. It is presented before assembly only after presidential approval. Delhi government had earlier said that it takes MHA at least 7 working days to give its approval unless it has come queries. MHA however gave its approval within 2 days. Before presenting the budget, Delhi government will also have to table economic survey of 22-23 and the outcome budget 23-24 in the House. Police in Khan Market and GB Road will now be under 2 women police personnel, Sub-Inspector Pooja Saini and Kiran Sethi. Delhi Police has taken the landmark initiative to establish all women police posts in these critical areas which require proactive and more focused policing. While one area has issues pertaining to sex workers and human trafficking in particular, the other has an upmarket environment nestled in a VVIP locality. The posts, which are mini police stations for the practical purposes, will be equipped with state-of-the-art CCTV surveillance system. They will remain open round the clock. Despite treatment, about 75% of the sewage treatment plant being operated by the Delhi Jal Board are terribly failing to get even close to treating the E. coliform or fecal coliform, which represents the presence of raw sewage and excreta in the water. According to the sources and reports with Times of India, this is because the STPs have no facility for bacterial disinfection through either chlorination, UV treatment or ozonation despite a previous NGT order. The sewage post-treatment is released further in the river Yamuna, thus keeping it polluted and stinky, even as not all the sewage being generated in the city could be so far channelized for treatment. The STPs are thus able to treat some of the effluents and help improve the sewage quality by treating biochemical oxygen demand, total suspended solids, oil and grease and other nitrates and phosphates, but unable to treat the bacteria which thereby flows unabated to the river or to whatsoever purpose. The treated sewage water is diverted primarily for horticulture purpose. So far, Delhi Jal Board has 36 functional STPs, of which only 9 have installed devices to quarter bacterial disinfection. However, most of them are very small STPs like molar band, this and this. However, for the rest of the plants, the fecal levels, despite primary treatment through oxidizing chambers, which releases oxygen in the sewage and help improve some effluents including BOD, is alarmingly high. According to the bacteriological analysis reports, with this, the fecal coliform levels of the outlet of one such major STP throughout January 24 was this. There are about 28 such STPs with similar results, releasing this water into the river or diverting elsewhere. According to the Delhi Pollution Control Committee for the river Yamuna, the desirable limit for fecal coliform is 50 mpn per 100 ml, while maximum permissible is 2500 mpn per 100 ml. Another DPCC's analysis report showed that the fecal coliform level in the river Yamuna or for a month of Jan ranged 400 to 3,10,000 mpn per 100 ml. Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal on Sunday said he stands in solidarity with Hemant Soren and lauded the former Jharkhand CM for not going with BJP under pressure. In response to the post of Soren's wife Kalpana Murmu, Soren on X thanking Kejriwal for his support, the Delhi CM, while reiterating support, praised Soren for his courage and said if the latter had gone with BJP, he would not have been jailed, but he did not leave the path of truth. Quoting her post, Kejriwal said, Kalpana ji, we fully stand with former Jharkhand Chief Hemant Soren ji. The country praises his strength and courage, the way he is facing the atrocities of BJP. If today he had gone with the BJP, he would not have been jailed. But he did not leave the path of truth. Salute to him, he asked in a post in Hindi. Jharkhand Mukti Morcha Executive President Hemant Soren was arrested by the Enforcement Directorate in connection with a money laundering case linked to an alleged land scam on January 31, shortly after he resigned as the Chief Minister. Kejriwal has been summoned by the ED on Monday yet again to join the investigation in the liquor policy scam case. Kalpana, who have managing Hemant's social media profile since February 5, broke the news about Kejriwal's phone call on the former CM's ex-handle in Hindi, spoke to Arvind Kejriwalji over the phone. I thank him for being the Jharkhandi warrior Hemantji and the entire JM family. The entire country is watching the conspiracies of the union government and BJP. Everyone is upset with the way democracy is being shredded to bits in non-BJP governed states like Jharkhand and Delhi. We have to counter this conspiracy together, she added. Dismissing reports about Tank's death has greatly exaggerated. 12 lakh strong Indian army is going in for a major upgrade of its existing tank as well as gearing up to induct new generation ones for battle of the future. Senior officers contend the wide-scale destruction of Russian tanks by drones, man-portable anti-tank missiles, NLAWs, and artillery in the ongoing war with Ukraine, especially in the initial days, was more due to poor tactics rather than anything else. For one, Russia deployed tanks without adequate logistics chains. For another, tanks were not adequately backed by infantry, artillery, electronics warfare, and close air support unit. The critical combined arm operations were missing. Tanks remained relevant for both offensive and defensive operations. There is no other platform that provides requisite mobility, firepower, and armor protection in the large-scale ground battles, a senior officer said. Our future tank projects are being planned with an enhanced survivability, especially against aerial threats as well as connectivity. Requisite anti-drone safeguards will ensure both individual tank protection as well as area protection for force survivability, he added. Consequently, Army plans to issue the RFP this year for the estimated rupees 57,000 crore mega project to produce 1770 future-ready combat vehicles in India to replace the old Russian origin T-72 tanks from 2030 onwards. The FRCVs will have niche technologies to include AI, drone integration, active protection system, high degree of situational awareness, and manned-unmanned teaming capability. It will be able to synergize and integrate with all elements of land and air in a network-centric environment, other officers said. Along with a fleet of 2,400 T-72 tanks, Army has so far inducted 1,200 tanks. T-90B Bhishma tank of the 1657 being produced by the Heavy Vehicles Factory at Awadi under license from Russia. The force will also this year induct the first 5 of the 118 indigenous Arjun Mark 1A tanks with 14 major and 57 minors upgrade to enhance firepower, mobility, endurance and protection. Then there are 354 indigenous light tanks for high altitude warfare to be inducted under Project Zorawar for around rupees 17,000 crore. There is need for such tanks, each weighing less than 25 tons with a high power to weight ratio as well as a superior firepower and protection, has been driven home by the continuing almost 4 years long military confrontation with China in eastern Ladakh. While 57 of the light tanks are reserved for DRDO, the rest 295 are being manufactured under the government-funded Design and Development Make 1 category, as was first reported by Times of India. First, DRDO completes its internal trials of the light tank prototypes. There will be offered to the Army for summer and winter trials, which will take a couple of years, an official said. Several upgrade plans are underway. The Army, for instance, has now got its pending proposal for inducting 1,000 horsepower engines of the T-72 fleet to replace the existing 780 HP ones. Approved by the Defence Ministry under this rupees 2,300 crore plan, 2,200 engines will be directly imported while 800 will be made in India. T-72 are also getting normal thermal sights, fire detection and suppression and other systems. The T-90S tanks in turn are getting automatic target trackers, digital ballistic computers and commander thermal imagers, the officer said. A Chhattisgarh Armed Forces officer was hacked to death by a Maoist hit team in Bijapur district of Bastar on Sunday morning. He was buying vegetables from a local market. Inspector Tijau Ram who was killed barely 100 meters from the recently set up Jagur security camp in Kutru in Chhattisgarh, police said. The region is Maoist hotbed close to the Maharashtra border and the locations like Ganglur, Kirandul and Bhairamgarh have seen many gun battles. Bhauria head constable Sham Bihari and some other personnel were out of the buy vegetables on Sunday morning. Two Maoists disguised as villagers attacked him with axes and fled before anyone could challenge them. By the time help arrived, the inspector had bled to death. He hailed from Bargaon village in Kankar district around 3:45 north of where he was posted. Bijapur SP Jitendra Kumar Yadav told that it's the modus operandi of small action teams of the Maoists to execute such attacks in public places, particularly weekly markets. They attack all of a sudden and flee the spot within seconds, he said. The attack comes barely 10 days after the Maoist Dhan Special Zonal Committee demanded creation of a favorable environment for talks. The insurgents were responding to Deputy Chief Minister Vijay Sharma's offer for unconditional talks via video conference. Common University entrance test undergraduate is set to get a major overhaul this year. Subjects for which more than 1.5 lakh applications are registered will be conducted in pen paper mode, while those with application number below this mark will be computer based. Another big change in CUET UG 24 is that most papers are likely to be conducted in single shift, thus doing away with normalization process required for multi-session exams. CUET Advisory Committee, which has representatives from Central Universities, University Grants Commission and National Testing Agency, is likely to meet this week to finalize dates and details of the third edition of the test. As first reports by this on November 123, apart from making the common entrance test for undergraduate admissions hybrid, number of subjects choices a candidate can make will also be limited to 6, including the general test, as against the present provision of 10 subjects. According to sources in NTA, which delivers CUET UG, online application process is likely to commence by the end of Feb. NTA in September 23 had released exam dates for various entrance tests it conducts, according to which CUET UG has been scheduled between May 15 and 31. On multiple changes in format of the test, they said some papers with large count and the areas like Kashmir, Jharkhand and some places in the northeast, the paper will be delivered in pen paper mode. It will be like the medical entrance test, that is the OMR based multiple choice pattern. For papers with lesser number of applications, the test will be computer based. Also, so far as possible, tests for majority of the papers will be conducted in a single shift. There will also mean that there will be no normalization required for these papers, they added. Subjects that are likely to be delivered in pen paper mode based on previous application trends are English, mathematics, physics and chemistry, among others. CUET UG is the second largest entrance exam in the country in terms of applicants. In the debut edition in the 22, 12 lakh students had registered, followed by close to 15 lakh the next year. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar on Sunday met his Palestinian counterpart Riyad al-Maliki, during which they exchanged views on the current situation in war-torn Gaza. Jaishankar is in Germany to attend the Munich Security Conference. Nice to see Palestinian Foreign Minister Riyad al-Maliki exchange views on the current situation in Gaza, he posted on X, sharing a photograph of the meeting. India has been pushing for two-state solution of the Palestine issue. During the interactive session at a security conference on Sunday, Jaishankar underlined that an increasing number of countries are now not only supporting the two-state solution of the Palestine issue, but seeing it more urgent than before. The minister described October 7 attacks on Israeli cities by Hamas as terrorism. At the same time, he said Israel has an international obligations to observe humanitarian law. It is important that Israel should not have been mindful of civilian casualties, he said at a session. Also attended the US Secretary of State Antony Blinken and German Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock. Israel has been pushing ahead with its military offensive in Gaza as part of its retaliation of the unprecedented attack on Israeli sites by Hamas on October 7. India has been calling for de-escalation of the situation and creating conditions for an early resumption and direct peace negotiations. DMK, which is in the process of finalizing seat sharing with its partners in Tamil Nadu, is likely to add a new ally, actor turned politician Kamal Hassan, who heads Makkal Nithi Mayam, having indicated his leanings towards DMK-led alliance several months ago. Hassan is expected to initiate talks with DMK once he returns from USA in the early hours of Monday. Sources confirmed that the meeting between Hassan and DMK chief M.K. Stalin was likely after a brief budget session in State Assembly Saturday, starting Monday. Sources said the actor was likely to be given one seat. Hassan himself is keen to contest on MNM's torchlight symbol that was allocated to his party by EC a week ago. DMK completed its first round of talk with almost all its major alliance partners. If any new party is going to enter alliance, talks would have been initiated now. DMK sources said, "We are keen on contesting on our party symbol. We will hold talks directly with DMK, but date is not yet been confirmed," an MNM source said. Jharkhand Chief Minister Champai Soren on Sunday met AICC President Mallikarjun Kharge for the first time after taking oath of office and subsequent cabinet expansion amid raging dissent within the state Congress unit and key partner of the ruling India bloc in the state. Champai was accompanied by three senior members of his party Jharkhand Mukti Morcha and two representatives from the state Congress during the meeting, which lasted around half an hour. The CM is learned to have held preliminary talks on a seat sharing formula with Kharge for the Lok Sabha polls, but it was still described as a work in progress. Talking to reporters in Delhi after the meeting, Champai said the meeting with Kharge was a courtesy call in the wake of protests by many 12 of the 17 Congress MLAs demanding the replacement of the 4 existing ministers from Congress quota in his cabinet. Champai said the ongoing stir is an internal matter of the Congress and he has nothing to say about it. Talking to media, JAM's Gridh MLA Sudhya Kumar, who was present during the meeting with Kharge, said they will soon hold the next round of talks for seat sharing among the India bloc members in Jharkhand. As far as the seat sharing is concerned, out of 14 Lok Sabha seats in Jharkhand, Congress is eyeing to contest on 9, leaving the rest of other allies. JAM on the other hand has been weighing for at least 7 seats this time, leaving the rest of its allies. Baseball to bust for a long as Yashasvi Jaiswal and Sarfaraz Khans were hammering the English bowlers into submission during their unbeaten 172-run 5th wicket partnership in just 158 balls, entertaining a Sunday crowd at Niranjan Shah Stadium here. It seemed that England were playing a T20 match against Rizvi Springfield Bandra, the school back in Mumbai, for which both would pile the tons of runs while playing in the Harris or Gills Shield. Blazing away of the second double-hundred on the trot, Jaiswal was come back to bat after having retired the previous day on 104 due to back spasms, boasted of a record 12 sixes, thus equaling Wasim Akram's record against Zimbabwe at Sheikhupura in 96. 3 of those sixes came in the 85th over of James Anderson, as the young left-hander tore into one of the greatest swing bowlers, sweeping, lofting over deep extra cover and smashing him over his head. At the other end, Sarfaraz, who scored his second 50 of the match to round off a memorable debut, was doing what has been most impressive about him, gunning down the spinners with the ridiculous ease. A couple of sixes of leggy Rahman Ahmed standing out. Showing a penchant of hitting sixes, Jaiswal now he collected 22 sixes in the 3 tests, the most by anyone in a series ever. He is also only the third Indian batsman after Vinod Kambli and Virat Kohli to score back-to-back double centuries in Test series, and the third after Vinu Mankad and Kohli to score double tons in one series. Left batter and bruised by the Jaiswal Sarfaraz baseball, England seemed to have surrendered even as they have strolled off the field after India finally declared their second innings at 4:30 for 4, leaving the visitors with 5:57 to chase. England took just 39 overs to fold up for 122 and India ended up recording their biggest test win ever, routing Ben Stokes' band by 434 runs with a day to spare. India's previous biggest victory margin was 372 runs against New Zealand at the Wankhede Stadium in December 21. India now led the series by 2-1 with the next test of the 5-match series set to kick off at Ranchi from February 23. With ace of spinner Ravichandran Ashwin having rejoined the team, the hosts were smelling a kill on the wicket on where the ball was beginning to misbehave. While Ashwin, who came into bowl late in the England inning, took just one wicket, it was that man Ravindra Jadeja who took centre stage, destroying England, hell bent on sweeping him to their doom with 5 for 441 in 12 overs for left arm spin. Promoted up in the order after India were staring down in the barrel at 33 for 3 in the first hour of the match, the left-hander stroked a crucial century, sharing a 2014 partnership with skipper Rohit Sharma to rescue his team from the woods. To add it, he finished with 7 for 92 to overtake Jaiswal's claim for the player of the match prize. Bouncing back from a first innings duke, Shubman Gill scored 91 in the second inning, while India's second debutant skipper Dhruv Jurel impressed with both his batting and glove work, diving superbly in the second innings to collect a throw from Mohammad Siraj and run out Ben Duckett in the second innings. Confronted with a rude reality check, an England team has promised so much in the first two tests of the series, and on the first couple of days of the test with its entertaining brand of cricket is threatening to implode completely on its tour to India, just like many teams have done over the past decade.